Alright, so here I am with this more than likely Hydrolocked Murray lawnmower. It's a 20-inch with a 4 3/4 horse Briggs and Stratton motor on it. I have many suspicion and reason to believe that the motor on this is hydrolocked, meaning I think the guy put too much oil into it. The oil seeped past the piston rings and got in front of the cylinder, producing the symptoms of all the oil that came out of here, which I cleaned off of here. The carburetor side's all greasy and grimy and really disgusting. It's actually looks like it's all fresh stuff too, so I need to deal with that. And the third symptom is when I go and pull the cord, it rotates, but it's very hard to rotate on the compression stroke. That usually means that it's been hydrolocked, and being the fact that fluid does not compress like air does, that's kind of a problem. So first thing I'm going to do is pull off the gas tank, which is on the other side. Now, when I go and empty the gas tank, I'm going to empty it into my hazmat container here. I'll just refer to it as that. So first, let's take off the air hat. And let's have a look at the filter. It's probably still good. Usually you can just get away with cleaning these things out. I do have an extra one though, just in case. Now regardless if I can get this mower working or not, I am going to clean out this carb because it's likely that the carb is perfectly fine. Same with the gas tank. Now, as I was showing you guys yesterday, you'll see it when I pour it all out, but doesn't really look all that clean in there. Looks like there's some oil that got in with the gas, which is not good. Let's go ahead and get to pulling this thing off. So we have our fuel line here. You can go ahead and just take that off. And we have our springs. So grab your needle nose. Go ahead and take that spring off. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it completely off, just so I don't lose it. So these gas tanks, what I like about them, they're really easy to remove. You got a bolt here, and you got your long bolt here, and it just comes off. Let's go ahead and pull this one off. Now when I get this carburetor off, I'm going to give it a nice deep cleaning. It's out. So let's go ahead and pull the tank off. And there we have the gas tank removed. So on with the next step. What I'm going to do now is just dump all the old nasty fuel into this thing. But first I'm going to remove the carburetor. There's just a bunch of screws around the housing, as you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and remove all those. So now let's go ahead and drain all the fuel out. Oh yeah, don't want any of that going into your freshly clean carburetor. It actually smells like lacquer thinner. Doesn't even smell like gasoline. Yeah, there's definitely some debris in this thing, so I'm going to need to give it a really good cleaning. Same with the carburetor. I'm not going to show you guys that, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The diaphragm actually looks okay. But what I'm going to do is get some carb cleaner, spray all around into the throttle. Actuate the butterfly valve a little bit. The carburetor surprisingly doesn't look all that bad. I mean, there's some debris in here a little bit, but nothing too major. Also, I just flushed out the gas tank and sprayed a bunch of engine degreaser on top of it. Kind of help get rid of some of that grease and grime that's stuck on it. I cleaned out the carburetor. It wasn't too dirty, actually. I mean, it was about as dirty as I thought it was. I'm still going to spray it down just a little bit more before I go and put it back on the mower, but I am going to set it aside for now. Being that there was oil in the gas tank, it wouldn't surprise me if there was gas in the crankcase. So I am going to go ahead and completely drain all the oil. I do have some more 30 weight oil to put in it, so that's no big deal. I don't got to run to the store for that. Let's go ahead and get started. There's really two ways you can do this. You can either empty it through the top, meaning through the dipstick tube, or you can take the little plug out of the bottom right by where the crankshaft is. Usually it's a lot easier as far as draining the oil goes. So I'm going to go ahead and move the mower. Now this way isn't exactly the easiest way, being that you got to lift the mower up and put it on top of things in order to do it. And sometimes it can be a real pain in the ass. That's because this bottom bolt, bottom drain plug, can sometimes be frozen or rusted in place. So if you live in a really rusty environment, this might not work for you. But for me, it comes out just fine. I might be able to get it out by hand now. Go ahead and move the blade back just a little bit. And voila. That oil is a funny color. In order to make this go a little bit faster, go ahead and just undo your dipstick. Kind of set it aside. Now this mower is over full, so what I might do is just let it sit here and drain out a little bit. So we'll give it a sec, be back in a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off the drain plug, stick it back in the bottom of the mower, and then I'm going to tip it up so all the oil, whatever's left, can leak out of the spark plug hole. While the camera was shut off, I did rotate the motor around some more with the pull cord, and it did shoot a little bit of oil out of it. Not very much, but I have a suspicion that there's a little bit more in there. Okay, so it's almost crunch time here. As you guys saw, I completely emptied everything out of the mower. Don't worry, I'll wipe that off before I stick it back in. But now, it's time to go ahead and put some oil in. Now for my purposes, I don't use very expensive oil for this type of stuff. I save the better oil for my personal equipment. Looks like it's right on the edge of the dipstick, so a little bit more oil. So, I honestly don't know, guys. This is going to be a crapshoot for me. We're right where it's supposed to be, so that's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some gas in, reconnect the spark plug wire, and we'll cross our fingers. Who knows? Maybe I will be able to save it. Connected. See what happens, boys. I think the spark plug's getting oil and stuff on it inside. I might have to empty out that cylinder a little bit more. So let's try again here in a minute. Alright guys, so I just did a preliminary start. It did start. Everything's back in place. What I'm going to do now is I got to run it so it burns off all the oil. So it's about to get really smoky. I don't feel anything too excessive as far as vibration goes. I did see some nicks and a little bit of bends in the blade, so the blade probably needs to be sharpened and balanced, if not replaced, which I think I do have an extra one that's ready to go on it. Now all that smoke that you guys saw coming out, that was just all the old stuff that was still in the combustion chamber that was burning off. Same with out of the exhaust right there. So this thing works. Now to give it a good cleaning and get it ready for sale.